Hey everybody, I'm back with part two of the Ms. Marvel of the 80s. The second person to bear that name. Her name is Sharon Ventura. Where do I start? Okay, well, when she was young, she had this real asshole father who wanted a son and didn't approve of hardly anything or didn't recognize her for anything. She was excellent in grades and she was a very athletic person. Later on in life, she became a stunt woman for movies. She did, motorcycle, stunts and all kinds of stuff going on, like, swimming competitions, everything. Well, she really enjoyed it. She was a very physical person, just very much wants to try the next best thing, or the next thing, okay? And she got augmented strength through this guy named Carl Malus, not to be confused with Carl Malden. This was in the last 6 issues of the Thing's solo title, written by Mike Carlin, who created her. And hats off to Mike. He is retired after 40 years of both comics and animation for both Marvel and DC, and he deserves. He's a good guy. Great editor, very professional, very nice too. He's not a pushover either. He's like, if you're gonna work for him, you better be ready to work and then have fun at the end. So enough of that. I'm getting off track, as I want to do. What happened is, she saved up some money to go to this guy named Power Broker so that she could get enhanced strength, because she figured that'd be like the next best thing, because the unlimited weight class wrestling federation came about, where super beings, specifically ones with that were mostly known for strong physical bodies, like the Abomination and all these other people. So she wanted to get involved, and she thought it'd be the next step in what she'd want to achieve. But she met Ben Grimm, and they got along pretty well. And what happened was, since they parted, he went over to the West Coast Avengers. Long story. He was going to join them, and it didn't work out. He mutated really horribly. He got really freaked out, and he disappeared. Nobody knew where the Thing was for a while. Where do I go from here? Well, when he got better, he through a series of events too arcane to go into right now, he joined the Wrestling Federation, and that's how they met up. And he kind of had a crush on her, but he was also very kind to her too, whereas some of the other guys were kind of dismissive of her. They were like, we'll kick her ass, blah 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 blah. And so she got that power from the Power Broker. She had money, from all of the events that she had won, and just self-made person, and she paid for this power enhancement, aka super strength. And the only problem was, it came at a price. Usually this Power Broker guy, well, he was a shady guy. He usually had some people pay him back by robbing banks, by doing huge favors, and doing this all other stuff. But she actually came with cash on hand, and he went to augment her power. But along the way, he decided, he didn't want her to go out and be a free agent. He wanted her under his sway. So he put in some addictive drugs mixed into one of her treatments. So she really couldn't get away for a while. But while she was being held hostage, a bunch of horrible henchmen, such an old word, but in comics it's still used, I guess. But they basically took liberties with her and molested her sexually, and it was very hard for her. She came back to Ben just to check up, and because he was the only one in her life at the time that mattered. And she comes to New York, and she still has a revulsion about touching men, and that's a very common trauma, from what I understand, after that sort of situation. And Steve Englehart had a lot of guts, kind of like touching into this, because he never was demeaning about it. So Reed and Sue are leaving. So now the team is going to be Crystal, Ms. Marvel, the Thing, and Johnny the Torch. Blah blah blah. They all say their goodbyes. But last issue, when Ms. Marvel first appeared on the scene here, she put Diablo in the hospital. She jacked him up really bad. Ever so slowly, the hand reaches towards the big draggled mustache and pushes it into the twisted mouth. And the man in the bed sucks on it and is reborn. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that is gross, dude. Putting it in your nose, I don't even want to know what's going on in there. In your mustache and stuff. I mean, maybe a adamantium mustache wax or something, but I doubt it. So he's kind of gross. But anyway, he comes back, and I'm going to jump to the next issue because it's not crucial what they continue to. They beat the shit on the second time. So this other character named Facade, he is a person that got killed near some electronic equipment. I don't know, lightning bolt stuff. I don't know, kind of like Electro almost, but just different. This was the late 80s, and computers were not a thing yet, really. I mean, except for the generic ones that you'd see like at Shield, or you'd see him at the Avengers Mansion. But so anyway, he could like travel through power wires, cables, and end up other places all over the world. So Ms. Marvel's doing her part, and so is Crystal. They're all getting together as a team, and it's working out really, really great. Well, Johnny ends up getting knocked out. He falls, and Ms. Marvel says he's falling like a rock, making no move to save himself. If I could just leap just right and catch him. And then she has a sense of revulsion. She says, he's a man. I can't touch a man. And she lands safely, says the caption. And Crystal really, really, really pours on the juice to get Johnny safe with a violent updraft, lifting him away from being street pizza. So, well, she says to herself, I couldn't touch him. I couldn't. He was so tight and masculine. Ugh. But I swore to deserve the honor of joining the Fantastic Four. Well, Johnny's none the wiser that she neglected to catch him. So she's all excited that they're being a tight unit, and nobody else is saying anything. Gonna need a lift? No, thank you, Torch. And why is this happening to me? I picked Crystal to hassle the kid, and Sherry to help me get over Alicia. And then, just when I liked the kid again, and he and Crystal decided to be pals again too, Sherry's list all down big time. And he sets her aside. He goes, I saw what you did, Sherry. I know, Ben, I feel terrible. I really do. But you know how I feel about men. It's just after what they've done to me. He goes, listen, lady, men didn't do nothing to you. Some men did, and Johnny wasn't one of them. And if you want to be part of the FF, you've got to work with all of us, or you're out of here. And she goes, she doesn't want that. And it's understood, He's being sensitive to the situation, but he's also being honest. And I think Englehart's really... some of his dialogue is just really spot on about the situation, because it is, I mean, I don't know if I said this already, but going through that kind of stuff, rape, I hate saying that word out loud, well, it does take time. I've heard a lot of accounts, or I've read that, to where you're not ready to be physical with anybody. So Ben comes up to her and says, Dad blasted Sherry, you don't have to be like this. Maybe I could help you if you could just think of me as a man. And she goes, no, Ben, no, I'm not ready for anything yet. I don't know if I'll ever be ready. Well, it's coming along. It's, little at a time. Well, what happens is, it becomes a pineapple. No, anyway, this guy Facade, he catches two of the 4FF members. Return of Keith Pollard. Oh my God, great artist. Classic artist on Thor, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four. That FF200 is a masterpiece that he's done. And Joe Sennett's still around for finishing him up. And so, Ben and Sharon are caught in this devices to hold them back. Long story. And This guy gets playful. He touches her. You touched me. So, understandably, she wants to kill him. But they both eventually break free. I'm not going to go over it because it's just, we got to keep moving, everybody. So, she is really pumped to kick some ass. And so is Benji. And it's going along okay. They have to, just the two of them have to go to the satellite to deal with a problem that Facade has created. And he's also, like I said, he's an electronic character from here on in. He's not physical. And he's trying to screw up this satellite. So more goes on. He becomes partially, it's a long story. He gets partially solid as she smacks him down, and they're all thrilled. But they're trying to escape. Bloom! There goes the threatening satellite. And there's Ms. Marvel's thrilled. She's like, "We did it, paid him back." And she goes to kiss him. She ain't pulled away. And then touching for those of flesh and blood. So he ends up going, creating their space shuttle is gonna crash now because he infiltrated it. He's still around. They thought he was gone, but they run into cosmic rays on the way down. Boom! Oh my God! I know a lot of people hated this physical appearance of the thing, manifestation. It was kind of neat, I thought. I mean, I knew down the road it would change, but for a while he was much stronger than the Hulk, who turned back to gray and not being as strong. And that's for another episode. It's a really great episode. So he checks up. He's like, "I'm mutated again." And he's looking for Sharon. "Ben, what happened to me?" Yep, she became a thing. Okay, I'm going to close it right here because got more to do.